Good morning, everyone. My name is Reverend Teresa Soto, and I'm the lead minister here at the First Unitarian Church of Oakland. I'd like to ask you this morning to please turn off your video while we light the chalice and the Black Lives Matter candle. This will allow people to see the words on the screen and follow along. We also recommend that you make certain you have the most updated version of Zoom on your computer. Please note that we are recording this service, so if you don't want to be in the recording, which we'll later put on YouTube, please do keep your camera turned off. I'd like to welcome you this morning especially. We are an intentional, multi-generational, multiracial, multicultural, inclusive, and anti-oppressive community. You're welcome here. One of the things that we'll be doing today is our annual meeting of the congregation. So we'll begin today with a short amount of worship. We've got Corliss Smith with us today, our music director, Stephen Schneider, worship producer, Vincent Rains, and others. We invite you to fill out the guest connection card you'll see in the chat. We want you to be able to explore what's of interest and support you in that, and explore with you how you might participate in our community. And you're welcome. And we'll begin with lighting the chalice with these words. We light this chalice today, symbol of Unitarian Universalism, in part as a celebration of COVID-19 vaccines that bring us closer to being together in person, and we commit to health and safety for everyone, leaving no one behind. And the Black Lives Matter candle. We light the Black Lives Matter candle for the journey towards spiritual wholeness, working to build a diverse, multicultural, beloved community by our actions that accountably dismantle racism and other oppressions in ourselves and our institutions. We'll begin with a reading, and then Stephen will lead us in singing. We begin today with a reading. Today in our congregation, we reflect on our values before we take the time to conduct the annual business meeting of our congregation. In that spirit, I want to share with you a poem written by white broadcaster Charles Osgood. There was an important job to be done, and everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought anybody could do it. But nobody realized that everybody couldn't do it. It ended up that everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have. In our congregation, we can add an additional stanza. Everybody thought about what somebody could do. And then we discovered somebody was the same as me or as you. And we worked together in covenant and teams to make real our beloved community dreams. So come find yourself in this love and this care. Together we'll work on the mission we share. Come, let us worship and work together.
Good morning, everybody. We're going to open this morning with Building a New Way, which I looked back on some history, and we have pretty much done this song every annual meeting for the last 5 years. So it's kind of one of our traditions. I will prompt you with the lead line of the verse, so please sing along if you can. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way, working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. Hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. We will feed our every need. 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 Start with love, that is our seed. We will feed our every need. Peace and freedom is our cry. 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 Without this world, our world would die. Peace and freedom is our cry. Come on, everybody, put your hands together. We're building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. Feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Stefan, and also for telling us about that pattern. That's really good to know. Now's the time when I'd love to invite you to unmute your microphone so we can say hello to our neighbors.
Hello, neighbors.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, so nice to see you all.
Hi, everybody.
Hello,
Hi.
Nice to hear your voices.
Hello.
Nice to see
Nice
you,
to see you.
everyone. Hey,
Hello,
Charlotte.
everyone.
Morning.
Looking
Lauren.
great.
Barbara.
So unsatisfying.
Hey, long time no see. Nice to see you.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, good morning. Nice to see you.
Hello, everybody.
Easy Kwan.
Everyone's looking beautiful today.
Maria. Debbie.
Hey, Heidi, Chrissy, Hi, Brenda.
Hey, everyone.
Hi,
everyone. Dennis.
Everyone.
Hey, Laurel.
I just saw Gary and Jane.
Sherry.
Good morning, Charles.
Hi, Carolyn.
Wow, everybody.
Oh,
Good morning, David.
Debbie.
there's Mary. Katrika.
Hi,
Claudia's phone.
Claudia.
Can't wait to hug you all.
Cheers to everybody.
Not an excuse. Hi, Susan.
Hey, Nicole and Michael.
Good morning, Greg and Emily.
Good morning.
I am. Hi,
Morning, Greg.
Carol.
Morning.
Hi, Leslie and Roxy.
Good morning.
All right. You're very good at greeting one another.
Yes.
You can leave your microphone on because I'm going to ask you questions. And I have a friend today. Her name is May Carroll. You know why that's her name? Can you guess? Who's named May Carroll?
You what?
Jeez.
May Carroll.
May Carroll. Okay.
She was born in May?
No. May Carroll is MAE.
Oh, okay.
May Carroll Jemison. She's the first Black woman to go on a space mission with people in it.
Ah.
So that is why we're naming our puppet May Carroll. So May Carroll is going to help us talk about what's an annual meeting. So an annual meeting, what are you going to tell her that it is? What's an annual meeting?
It's a meeting where we come together to do the work of the church.
Gotta do some business.
Some business of the church, yeah.
That's right. So I want to tell us and May Carroll what we're going to do there. Some people are going to talk, right? We're going to have ideas, we're going to have questions, but we also want to talk about how we're going to listen. So listening when a lot of people are talking takes some extra attention. So what do you do with your ears when a lot of people are talking? What do you do with your ears?
Open them.
When a lot of people are talking, I go like this.
You gotta focus your ears. You gotta sometimes maybe plug your ears. You gotta keep your ears open. You gotta do things with your ears. What about your eyes? What about your eyes?
They can be open too.
Keep them open.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Part of listening is paying attention with your face. Even pointing your whole face at whatever's going on. What about your hands? What do you do with your hands at a business meeting?
Get ready for clapping.
You might clap. That's a good one. What else might you do with your hands at a business meeting?
You take notes. Write stuff
Take
down.
notes.
Definitely might take notes, right?
Raise your hand.
You might raise your hand, especially if you got something to say. You might vote with your hand. Right. What about your feet? What do you do with your feet?
Yeah, I am.
You might
Do
want
whatever
to
you do whatever you need to do to help you focus.
Say what?
So you might need socks on your feet. Carol May has got shoes on, but you might need socks if your feet are going to be cold during the meeting. You might need to put your feet up if your feet are tired during the meeting. You might need to wiggle your feet if you got to get your energy out. Oh, there's another good one for hands in the chat. You might need to raise your hand to take a turn. Oh, Mark says you might walk your talk with your feet.
Oh.
Maybe. Another thing we got to say about all these body parts is sometimes people's body parts work differently. So if you can't see with your eyes, you might see another way. If you can't listen with your ears, you might pay attention another way.
Yeah.
If your hands don't work one way, they might work another way. Yeah. So all of that is happening at the meeting too. Anything else you want Carol May to know?
This is.
All right.
Roxy
That's
says.
what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk and listen and take care of business.
Roxy
Good job,
says,
everybody.
drop your shoulders and relax your back.
Oh, very helpful. Relax your shoulders. All right. Sometimes when we get worried, we do this. Put them all the way up by our ears. Gotta let them go. What's the back part? I didn't hear that part. What did we do with our back at the meeting?
So it's not talking to you.
Relax.
Relax.
Oh, relax your back.
Relax.
Yeah.
So it doesn't bother you.
Might be doing
when
the
you're
same
trying
thing.
Breathing. Breathing's also good.
Breathing. We can't see breathing, but we are very helped when we do breathing, right? So if you feel tightness right here, that might be a reminder to be breathing. Right. Good job. Thank you, everyone. And I'd like to invite Corla Smith to bring a reflection on the pandemic. So if you'd please turn off your microphones and get ready to listen. that would be great.
Hello, everybody. Last week, Pastor Teresa asked us to list things that we experienced, good and bad, during our COVID year. What did we want to retain from this experience? What were we looking forward to? I was touched by some saying they wanted to see their grandchildren. I was outside yesterday and heard my neighbor's grandchildren cavorting about in the backyard, and it was so pleasant to hear their voices. I myself entered the fortunate state of being fully vaccinated a week ago Saturday. My most urgent desire for what I would do was quite mundane. I wanted to go to the grocery store. I wanted to pick out my own produce. On Thursday, I did exactly that. And you know what? I was glad to do it, but it was also kind of anticlimactic. Like there weren't any big banners that said, "Welcome back to the grocery store, Corliss." But I did feel I could breathe a little easier, that my space had expanded. Before I was circumscribed, but now I was much freer, spatially at least. This, I guess, is one of the benefits of being old enough to have gotten your vaccinations. Ha. I also long to hug people. I really like to feel the bodies of other people pressed against my own. What I'm not so keen about, though, is talking with a lot of other people. And that's nothing new. As an only child, I grew up with solitude as my normal condition, and it's still my default setting. However, I also deeply understand that being with others is the necessary, essential ventilation of one's limited worldview and experience. So I will once again intentionally arrange to be with others in whatever ways are possible. And this can and will be very pleasurable. Nonetheless, I feel more confirmed in my resolution to preserve my solitude as well. I think Bill Blakely had a really good suggestion, and I hope we continue to use Zoom for many of our meetings, because doing so would reduce driving, which not only is ecologically useful, but I increasingly don't want to do it as I become more and more the little old lady from Pasadena. During this COVID time, I've been learning Spanish assiduously, and now I want to talk to people. I've also been taking a 14-week course about becoming a death doula, someone who accompanies others in death. It's offered by the Elizabeth Kubler-Ross Foundation in Mexico City and includes people from many parts of the world, all women. It's been intense in the work required, lots of written self-scrutiny that's forced me to bring greater clarity to my beliefs about my life and death and who I am. I've learned enormously, but not easily. I've been surprised at the difficulty of answering what appear to be simple questions, such as, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What would I like the setting of my death to be? In one exercise, we were asked to imagine our own deaths. Some interesting revelations. The number one fear of dying people is being abandoned. And the most important thing that dying people want from a companion is listening. So a good deal of our course has been lessons about listening, being present and mindful. Each of these is, as you all know, a lifetime discipline. As you might expect, throughout the course, it's been increasingly clear that dying well has a lot in common with living well. Being present, listening, being mindful, and the acceptance of aging and death as an integral part of life, and life as an integral part of death. I think we've all learned a good deal about ourselves in this COVID year. I've learned to value even more the circle of our congregation and how it holds us all. What a bunch of deeply good-hearted people our church is. Yes, I mean you. Yesterday's memorial service for Joe Wojtek was a fine instance of this. I didn't know Joe, but hearing about him made me wish I had. What a gift he was. And what a gift we all are to each other, and what a gift it will be to be together again. Today in our annual meeting, let us celebrate this circle of our commitment. I will be listening as much as I can. I will be trying to be present and mindful of the life and death of each of us and our beloved community, which is always under construction.
Thank you so much, Corliss. We'll transition now to the invitation and generosity.
Now we will celebrate generosity of gifts and offerings to our church. Thank you so much for your unselfish sharing. It really means a lot. I think there's probably ways to give in the chat.
There are. Yeah. So if you'd like that information, you can click it and open it in your computer.
And now let's say the words that we use to indicate our commitment to our community, to the work of the church, which is weaving a tapestry of love we call community. We dedicate ourselves and these, our offerings.
Thank you so much, Corliss. And for those of you who aren't staying for the business meeting, we really appreciate you coming this week to share this time with us. We know that a year of pandemic is a really long time, but we're here each week to celebrate the fact that being together really matters. Thank you, everyone. And now,
Please stay.
we'll sing This Little Light of Mine with Stefan, and then we'll get ready for our annual meeting.
All right, everybody, let's have a spirited rendition of this. So if everybody wants to clap their hands, move around a little bit, just get prepared for the excitement of the annual meeting, that would be great. So I'm looking forward to everybody. If you have a spoon and a coffee cup in front of you, you can keep rhythm with that. You can pound on your desk, whatever you want to do, but just enjoy the music. So here we go. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the world, all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Yes, all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building a new world, building a new world. I'm gonna let it shine, building a new world. I'm gonna let it shine, building a new world. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, come on everybody, let's sing loud and proud. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.